back, Refocus Gang, and welcome back to another episode of Refocus on You. I greatly appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the Daddy Issues series. I hope it helped you out. I hope you shared it and gave it to someone who you think would have benefited from it. I greatly appreciate the support. Today we're going to do a little lighter note, and we're going to talk about the timeline. You know, the timeline where when we was younger, we was like, oh, I want to do this by this time and this by this time and this by this time. But some of that stuff didn't happen in that way. So today we're going to talk about that, and we're going to forget all about that timeline, because whatever is supposed to happen will always happen. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a psychiatrist. I always wanted to be a therapist or something, because people enjoy talking to me, and I enjoy talking to people. I really enjoy helping people out, working with people to try to figure out things, and just making people happy. I really enjoy that. So I wanted to be a psychiatrist. I wanted to be in a permanent relationship by the time I was 25, married. I wanted to have kids and be in my first purchased home by the time I was 27. And after that, it was the white picket fence, bliss family, you know, the American dream. Let's just say things did not go according to that plan. So I was on my own at 15. So I went to school, but I ended up dropping out because I had missed too many days. So they was like, well, we have to fail you. And I was like, well, no, you're just bye. So I did end up getting my GED. I didn't graduate from high school. I did get my GED. I went to a community college and got my associate's degree. I also have a certificate in phlebotomy. And I work in finances. So that's not psychiatry at all. I work in finances, which I enjoy numbers, but that was not what I planned. I did not have my first child until I was 29, and I was not married. Now, a lot of people might say, oh, bummer. And for a long time, I was kind of upset. Like, it took me a while to have kids, to have a child. It took 10 years to have that one child. And I was not married, so it was not according to plan. It was not originally what I wanted. I wanted twins. So for a long time, I was kind of like, I should be further. I should be married. I wasn't married when I had this child. I do have a home that's bought and paid for, but it's not a home that I purchased. It was a gift given to me. So for a long time, it was like, I'm not doing what I said I wanted to do. I'm not on track. I should be doing more. What's going on? And I had to stop and think. I can't do anything that God is not ready for me to do. Like, it's a true story. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Because sis had it laid out in the book. Like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. And life went a totally different direction. And right now, I'm grateful for the direction that life did go, because that's my story. And that's my purpose. My story is my purpose. Had I went to school, graduated from high school, went to college for 8 to 10 years, got a psychiatry degree, I may not would have experienced the things that I experienced to be able to help others, and others benefit from my pain today. So I know all of us had dreams growing up. We all had a timeline. This is what I want. Mommy, daddy, kids. Some of us may not have wanted kids, but we want a powerful career and different things like that. And sometimes you can get in a rut and you're like, wait a minute, this is not what I planned. This is not how it's going. What's wrong? Something is wrong. I should be doing better. And that can weigh you down. Like, you may feel like a failure, or you feel like this is not what I planned. Why is my life this way? But I always think there is a purpose for everything that happens. And although we may want one thing, sometimes that's just not what is destined for us. Sometimes that's just not our purpose. Sometimes we're supposed to go a totally different route because, like I said, your story is your purpose. That's your motivation. That's how you're going to reach the masses. That's how you're going to get the ones that are attached to you. They're going to benefit from you because of your story. So we have to make sure that we don't get so caught up in our timeline and thinking that if we don't get married by 30, we're doomed. First of all, when you realize that in 20 you're not grown, that'll make life pretty easier. Like when we was kids, we thought like when I get grown, 18, I'm grown, 21, oh, I can buy beer, so I'm really, really grown then. But it wasn't until I was 30 that I realized that I wasn't even grown. 20 is like another part of your teenage years because you are learning. You are doing different things and figuring out, is this what I like? Is this what I want? Can I deal with this? You may be in a relationship that you're like, I don't know if I can deal with this the rest of my life. This is fun for right now, but stuff that you tolerate when you are 20, 21, at 29, you like, look, we too old for this. So you're not, once you realize that you're not even grown at 20, it's not until you hit your 30s that it's really, you can start to actually branch off and be like, I don't like this. This is not benefiting me. This is not getting me nowhere. I have been doing this for this amount of time and I have not reached no goals that I thought I should reach. So this is not helping me at all. Once you hit that 30, like Medea said, your light bulb comes on and you're like, wait a minute, it's something else I can be doing, or it's something else I can do better. Like your first, that 20 to 30, I feel like it's a fill out period. Like, let's see, do I like this? Do I not like this? Change your major 30 times. I want to be a doctor. No, I want to be a lawyer. No, I want to be a therapist. No, I want to be a teacher. Like, you can do all of that from 20 to 30. So it's really not a time for you to be trying to settle or trying to have kids. Like, I know a lot of people do have kids early, and that's amazing. And I take my hat off to those people who have kids, maintain a husband, go to work, go to school. I take my hat off because I did work 2 jobs and go to school, but it's nothing like trying to maintain a whole family and go to school. So I take my hat off to those people who did that from 20 to 30. It wasn't, I feel like if I had my daughter earlier, that I would not have been the mother that I am today, because from 20 to 30, I was living my life. I was doing what I wanted to do. I could go out when I wanted to go. I can pick up and leave when I wanted to leave. I used to love to travel. I would just get up and go. And I'll get up and go now with my daughter, but coronavirus. But I did all of that from 20 to 30. So right now, she's here. I can focus on her. I can focus on a career. I can focus on building a business. I can focus on building a brand because it's not a whole lot of distractions because I'm older now. So don't think just because you are not on time, you're not caught up with your timeline, that you failed. No, you did not fail. That just means that you have more work to do. That means that God is pushing you in a direction that you may get to the prize that you wanted, but you have to go different places before you're there. Never get so caught up in, maybe I just can't do this. Maybe this is not for me. Don't get caught up in that, because you have everything that you need to do everything that you want to do. When you were born, you were already equipped with that. The person you want to be, you can be that person. Just start showing up in the world as the person you want to be. The person you want to meet, start only dealing with those type of people. Everything that you want, you have the drive, you have the equipment to do it. You just have to make sure that you put your mind to it. And don't get so caught up in, well, it's not happening for me, so I'm going to hate on this one. No, be a blessing to the people that are being blessed. Because when God see that you are helping people or you're happy for people, You're not trying to stop other people's grind or trying to stop other people's blessings. When you're happy for other people, that open up room for your blessings to come in. That open up room for what you want to happen, because they see, God see, the universe sees that, hey, you know what, she ain't hating, she happy, she's giving out positive vibes. Positive vibes attract positive vibes. You have to be the person that you want to be. The person you see yourself as, you be that person. If you want to be a millionaire, start carrying yourself as a millionaire. Start doing things that millionaires do. Millionaires have different streams of income. Millionaires are always looking like, what can I do next? Millionaires are always helping people too, even though some of us don't realize that. Like, you don't just get rich and don't help nobody. A lot of millionaires, they really dish out a lot of money, but we don't see that part. Like, it's more to just, oh, I have this money. It's more to that. So make sure that you are a blessing to others while you're working on what you are trying to do, so that God can see that, oh, I can trust them with this. A lot of times we don't get what we want at a certain time because God don't know if he can trust us with it. God don't know if he can say, if I give you this, are you going to act a fool? Are you going to turn your back on everybody? Or are you going to use it and show that I gave it to you? Like, you have to think about that. Sometimes you're not in the place that you need to be in order to get to the next level in life. Sometimes you're around people that's hindering you from getting to the next level of life. Sometimes you don't know how to treat the people that's already in your life, and that's what's stopping you from moving to the next level of life. So whenever you do feel like, hey, I'm not on track, take a look around you. Are you holding on to a lesson that was only supposed to be a lesson? Now that thing is blocking your blessing. So make sure that you pay attention to everything around you. Sometimes we get so caught up in seasonal things, and we want to make things permanent that were supposed to be seasonal. That'll block your blessing. That'll stop you from moving to the next level. So whenever you aren't moving to the next level and you feel like you should be, just take a look around you. Is it some things that you need to change, or are you just being impatient? Because patience is key. Like I said, I would not have been the mother that I thought I was gonna be until now. Like, so make sure that it's not out of your reach. Nothing is out of your reach. Make sure that the things around you are going to breathe into that blessing, or going to help you go into that blessing, or help you reach that next level of life. Make sure that you're not trying to get somewhere that you're really just not ready to be right now. Like, if you can't manage $2, how are you going to manage $200,000? If you can't manage one child, how are you going to manage 4 kids? If you can't manage your life, how would you raise a full family? If you can't manage your life, how would you manage a full business where you got other people that are dependent on you to make correct decisions in order to make sure they eat? So every level of your life is going to require a new you. So are you ready for that level that you're saying that you have not reached yet? So think about that. I believe now that if I get married, it's more likely to be just the marriage. Like, we're just stuck together forever because we know what we like. Like, we know this is what I can tolerate, this is what I cannot. We learn to pay attention to red flags and different things like that. So forget the timeline. Set your goals. Of course, set your goals. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm working towards, because we all need something to work towards. But you can't be so caught up in the timeline or in the outcome of the situation that when things don't go that way, that you just totally fall apart. Like I said, it took me 10 years to have a child, and I used to fall apart. Like, anytime I had a negative pregnancy test, when the doctor said you just can't have kids, I fell apart. And now looking back, I realized that, what if God had blessed me according to my faith? Because when I gave up on having kids, what if he had to say, oh, she gave up? what if the universe said, oh, she gave up? Don't worry about it. She don't want it no more. So you have to make sure that just because stuff is not happening in your timing, that don't mean that it's denied. That don't mean you're denied. You may be delayed, but you're not denied, because in all reality, God knows what we need very much more than we do. And he can see the end before we even think about the beginning. So we have to make sure that we pay attention to things are gonna happen on time. When it's supposed to happen, when it's destined to happen, when you need it to happen, things will happen on time. Like I said, my daughter was a complete eye-opener for me. She was the light in my life. So if I had had her earlier, she would not have caused the impact the way she did. So I thank God that I did have her later on in life, because I greatly needed her at the time I had her. So make sure that you are not so caught up in, oh, I gotta do this by this. I even say now, if I don't have another child by 35, I don't want no more. I don't want no more kids, to be honest. But I know if I get married or something, my husband may. But I said, if I don't get pregnant by 35, but when you read the Bible, people got pregnant at 90, 100. So it really don't matter. I know people who are 45, 50 getting pregnant. So you have no control over anything. And as soon as we really get used to that, like, we really don't control nothing. Now, yes, we can manifest our life. We can write down what we want. Writing down makes it more real, I should say. Like, writing it down, it says this is what I want. You're scripting. It says the script in the Bible. You're supposed to write down what you want. But that does not mean it's going to happen when you want it to happen. So we have to make sure that we are paying attention to that. Like, just believe it's going to happen. It may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen next week. It took me 10 years. But just know that it's gonna happen in due time. I just have to keep working towards it. Never give up on your dreams, no. But don't get so caught up in the timeline that you're like, it didn't happen by this time, so oh well. No, never give up. Work towards what you need, but never give up. So scratch your timeline. If you didn't get married by 30 and you feel like, hey, I'm just not going to worry about it because I'm too old now. No, you're not. You're not too old until you're gone. You're never too old for anything. And you're, like I said once before, how old is too old to be a millionaire? Like, whether you become a millionaire at 25, 35, 45, 55. Once you reach millionaire status, you reach millionaire status. Like, ain't nobody going to say, oh, she too old to be a millionaire. What? What? So don't worry about that timeline. Like I said, set your goals. This is what I want. This is what I plan. But make sure that you don't be so caught up in the outcome or it happening by this time that you give yourself a hard time about it, or you feel like a failure about it. You get down on yourself. No, you got this. Scratch the timeline. I thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped some people out. I hope this was an inspirational video. Send it to your friends. Share it on all social media platforms. Make sure you are liking and subscribing to my channel. And tell all your friends, all your family to come and like and subscribe. Get that weekly motivation. We are healing. We're moving forward. We're going to be the best that we can be in life. And like I always said, if you can dream it, you can do it. The only thing that's standing between you and your goal is you. Persistence, where's resistance? All the time. Keep pushing. All right. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.